What's up, everybody? It's Mekel Kasanova. We are back with another stream. It's been a good minute since it's been a minute since I did anything today. Actually, at least I was able to get a quick 2-hour nap because I worked a very long shift today. I think I started work at like, if I'm being honest, was it like a 8:30 last night, and I finished not long ago, actually, like an hour ago. So it's pretty crazy. But how's everyone doing? Thank you all for coming through on the stream. Sorry I'm late. I'm not as late as I typically am. Typically I'd be like half an hour or an hour late, but I was having some issues trying to get the stream up and running. It seems like my computer needs to run some type of update, but it is what it is. So how's everyone doing? I'm checking in on the chat. Let's see. Simply Deep, what's up, man? How's it going? Nice suit. What suit? Oh, you mean from the intro? Oh, okay. Edward Bishop, what's up, man? It has been a while. How's it going? So we're gonna get back into Fire Emblem. But apparently I need to switch controllers because this controller is dying. Let me switch my controller. It is hot as hell, I swear. It's so hot, it's ridiculous. Like, I had to take 2 cold showers. That's just how hot it was. Ridiculous. So what happened to Trajan? What the hell's that? Anyway. Go ahead and hop on in. Oh, Tekken. Oh. Today I'm doing Fire Emblem. Just because it's been one of my most popular streams. So we're just gonna keep with that trend for a little bit. Then we're gonna switch up, I believe on Friday, switch to something else. My goodness. I get no sound output. Hold on. Man, why is it every time I start a stream, there's always some technical issue? Always. Know what I need to do? So restart it. Oh yeah, I do have Mega Man. Yeah, so apparently I just need to restart it. Anyway. It is so hot right now. It's ridiculous. It's heat. So what's up with you guys? What's new? Ugh. I've got AC on, got a fan on, and it is still so hot right now. Got two fans on. It's insane how hot it is right now. All right, so what I need to do is I need to do some exploring. Okay. See what we got. So I need to meet with Dimitri. So this is an event that's this month only. In hiding, seeking intel on the band of thieves that has been raiding villages in North Fargus. Words of wisdom, those with problems they don't wish to discuss publicly on courtesy guidance in the cathedral. Key for 2, are there any connoisseurs out there who can provide this rare important TV set with a loving home? Alright, so basically for me, okay, so I need to hit up Dimitri, Seth, Mercedes, Ferdinand, Casper, and Gerald. Alright, let me go find Gerald.
What's the matter? You're running all over creation. Ah, you don't believe Lady Rhea is the real target, do you? Even so, the Knights have their orders. We can't abandon our duty to guard Lady Rhea. The goddess's rite of rebirth is an important event for the Church of Seros. They say it's the day when the goddess will return to walk among us. Not too likely, if you ask me. Best if you keep that to yourself.
Also, it's near the captain's quarters for his stuff.
Did you know that on the last day of the rite, the monastery's open to the general public? It's kind of fun. It makes the place feel like a festival.
No classes on a festival day. I thought I'd get to spend all day relaxing in the company of some lovely ladies. But now this mess has happened. Hey, Professor, I know there's talk of an assassination attempt, but do you really think they'll do it on the day of the Rite of Rebirth? I feel like security would be looser some other time. Is there some reason why it has to happen on that day?
Those are all valid questions. Okay.
Fighting to stop a murdering is my specialness. No, my specialty. I will show my best work.
Because I know I need to talk to Dimitri. I forgot where I was on the last stream where I picked up the
The monastery holds many treasures. Maybe the enemy is after one of those? Even so, the idea of stealing from a church is just horrible. The monastery even...
Professor? Oh, hey, Professor. I was just reading this letter from my father. Do you know him? He's a pretty big deal in the Empire. He only writes to ask how my training's going, or how many monsters I've killed. Stuff like that. Hey, I got a favor to ask.
sounds like a quest I'd enjoy doing.
Right, right.
Hey there.
Hello there.
I've been in town procuring some supplies for Flame. No, but do not concern yourself for my safety. I am very much stronger than I appear. I have something to ask of you.
All right, so what I did last time that wasn't in my best interest was I was
Hey there.
just accepting the things that were eating up my time instead of looking at
What the?
Professor.
these entail.
I hear you have fought alongside Catherine. I would wager that her power exceeded your expectations. Had you the chance to witness her relic? Thunderbrand, glowing red. That glow is a sure sign that her blood contains a crest that harmonizes with that hero's relic.
Okay.
Hey there.
Hello there.
Well done. You have my thanks.
All right, there's that.
Hey there.
Let's go talk to Dimitri.
If the enemy's aim lies elsewhere, we had better discern their true intent quickly. As I see it, our best option is to explore every inch of the monastery. We should also speak to everyone here. Let's plan to compare notes once you've got a lead. Will you do me a favor? If the enemy's aim, we should also speak to...
Hey there.
Setting fire to the stables to distract everyone, to cause a commotion. It is the oldest trick in the book, but I cannot shake the thought that our enemies may attempt it. I will stand guard and watch over the stable, and the knight's horses. They are truly magnificent. Please, do me a favor.
Use the gift option to increase your support points with others by giving them things they like. A gift will also increase an ally's motivation. You may sometimes find lost items around the monastery. Use the lost item option to return them to their owners and increase support points. As with gifts, an ally's motivation will also increase.
Oh. I've heard talk of students wandering the monastery late at night. They wouldn't happen to be from your class, would they? Please keep your students in line, Professor. Kids these days.
So...
Oh.
What?
Hey, Professor, I hope you're well. As for me, I had a date with a splendid specimen of a knight. But now he's suddenly not in the mood to see me again. I blame all these rumors of a deathly figure showing up in town. Such an uproar must have, beyond reason, drawn his attention away from me.
Okay.
My reflexes need to be a little bit faster than that. Damn it.
The goddess's rite of rebirth is the most significant ritual for the Church of Seros. Could it be that someone has spread these rumors of an assassination plot merely with the intention to hinder the celebration?
Why, possibly.
Okay.
Maybe. It would be terrible if the greenhouse was targeted. The plants in here are incredibly valuable. This place contains the heart of Garrick Mock's 995-year history. So many beautiful flowers, plants that can save or end lives. They are all my precious children. Hi there!
All right. Mix in some vegetable seeds. See what.
Maybe.
Okay. Talk to this Knight of Saros.
Something in the monastery that someone might go after? There's so much here, I couldn't possibly name just one. Even this here kitchen contains precious wares, wine bottles from centuries past and the like. I hear that stuff is fancy, but not very drinkable. I doubt anyone would go to the trouble of stealing it.
Hey, Professor.
A moment, please.
Do you know what this room is? It is the church's treasure vault. I say treasure, but I do not mean silver and gold and jewels. It mostly contains weapons, artifacts, and the like. Anything that would cause too great a stir, should it be stolen? No. The church knows better than to store anything too valuable in such an accessible location.
Maybe it's just me, but this church seems super corrupt. This is my opinion. It just seems like there's too much with them that just does not add up at all.
You'd best keep your distance. In this nervous state, I might just cut you down.
Oh? Dare you to try.
Oh, come on. I'm only kidding. You'd best...
Well, really?
Unbelievable. What a terrifying story. However, an assassination attempt on Lady Rhea is doomed to fail. Pardon? You think the goal may be different than simple assassination? Intriguing. I suppose the priceless objects in this room could perhaps draw thieves. However, there's no one but me who could make use of them.
There are numerous books in this library that you cannot find anywhere else. But once you are here, you can read them easily enough. I doubt someone would go to the trouble of stealing one. Sometimes Seteth will dispose of books that are deemed inappropriate for the monastery, but that's about it. In a way, I suppose that makes those particular volumes more valuable, right?
I guess you could say it comes out that way.
Hey there.
That boy who assists the Archbishop. Cyril, I believe? I hear he's originally from a foreign land to the east called Almyra. I know he's still only a child, but I do wonder about his true intentions.
Alright, so that's everything I need to do here. Let's go over to the cathedral and talk to the people there.
Here's a thought. With the whole monastery preparing for the goddess's rite of rebirth this month, it feels like everyone's a little on edge.
Hello there. May I sit?
I can't stop thinking about Lenato. I'm sorry, Professor. I know this isn't the time, but I just can't get past it. Thank you. No matter what happens, I promise you I'll do my part. I checked on my brother and sister, who were living in Castle Gaspar. Thankfully, they're all right. I was worried because they're both so young, but the church in the castle town offered to take them in. That much, at least, is a big relief.
See, I'm wondering what the big twist is going to be.
What?
Is it really setting us up to be like there's something really corrupt with like church?
Professor, I am afraid I have acted a bit childishly toward my brother recently. Given the circumstances, I requested that he provide me with some candies. Silly of me, really. The timing was improper, and I regret it very much now. Oh, but more importantly, this place is off limits, Professor. It is only open to the public on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth.
What's up, Dave? How's it going, man?
Here's an idea.
I'm just recovering from a incredibly long shift, man. 8:30 p.m. yesterday to an hour ago.
On the day of the rite, the monastery will be open to the public, including the Holy Mausoleum. The Holy Mausoleum is where the tomb of the divine Saros lies. There she slumbers, eternally. That's pretty much all that's in there. Just an ancient coffin. It's sealed with a powerful magic to protect against would-be grave robbers.
Yeah, bro, it was it's one of them days where I'm like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I made it through though. Like, I know I probably need to get more sleep. I don't know. I've got real bad insomnia, so it's hard for me to just rest, even though I know I should probably rest more.
Have you visited the Goddess Tower? It's a sacred place used for rituals and the like. In general, students aren't allowed entry. But as you'd expect, that rule just excites their curiosity. Some have even tried sneaking in. Well, at least for this month, that kind of behavior is totally unthinkable. We have a lot more security, what with the goddess's rite of rebirth coming up.
Hello there.
So what's new with you, man? How's it going?
Well, about 20 or so years ago, there was a big fire in Garreg Mach. On that day, Captain Geralt went missing. Everyone thought he was dead. It never occurred to me that he might actually have survived. The truly strange part is that in all those years, he hasn't changed a bit.
So you packing for your stuff for your plane to the U.S.? I've been meaning to ask this. Were you like on vacation or something when you're overseas, or?
Thank you so much for your help.
Yo, what's up, Zero? How's it going, man? I'm just recovering from an insane work shift. I worked from 8:30 last night up until about an hour ago. Like, I know I should be sleeping, but between my insomnia and just being amped up, I'm just raring to go. It wasn't, you see, it just came from the store. Man, I'm so hungry right now. Alright, so I did all the majority of the quests. So let's go back and drop the stuff off with Gerald.
Thanks for your help.
Let's see. Thanks for your help. So, there is something that the church values above all else. On the day of the rite, it will be open to the public. That will make gaining entry far easier than usual. You know the place of which I speak.
Okay. Sorry, I had to readjust my mic because my my boom arm kept turning. It was getting kind of annoying. All right, it's still hot as hell. I'm sweating over here with an AC and 2 fans on, so yeah. Let's see. Dimitri said on the day of the rite, it will be open to the public. That will make gaining entry far easier than usual. You know the place of which I speak? The Holy Mausoleum, I believe.
Yes, that is the most likely possibility. We do not know their objective, but there is a good chance that our enemy is planning to target the Holy Mausoleum. Oh, thank you. I have been looking for this. But how did you know it was mine?
Alright, so I'm trying to figure out who likes tea that I could give tea to.
You're skilled. Why won't you battle me? Your skill.
It is interesting.
Sending an assassin to the monastery, Hopefully it's someone worth crossing blades with. It seems we're cut from the same cloth.
I think I should give him the replica sword, but I'm not too sure. So.
Sending an assassin. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about.
Ah, never mind. He says, so you're a uni student in the US, but as a Korean, I have to serve the army for around half year. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going back to the States. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing where it's mandatory in Korea, right? You have to do, is that for women as well as men, or just for men that they have to do the mandatory military time? Oh, it's only for guys? Oh, that's shitty.
Another win. Next time, bring your friends. Next time, bring your friends. Why am I even here?
What are you studying, Dave?
Another win.
I'm glad I asked you.
That's dope. I won that tournament. I'm trying to think. The only person that would even dig that would probably be Lorenz. Well, let's save before we do that.
The goddess, could it be that... How kind of you. Oh, most kind. Thank you for bringing this to me.
I will have to repay you sometime.
Says you may now invite your allies to tea for a chance to bond. It is possible to invite those outside your house too with a high enough support level. Huh.
Okay.
I literally did all of the quests. Dope.
Professor!
See if I can bond with her a little bit more.
Professor, as for me, I blame all... No, that's not... Right.
Alright, so then I got one more thing. Let's see.
Welcome. Please come again.
What do you require?
Farewell. Welcome.
There aren't really any new weapons I would want.
Come
Anyway.
back soon.
Let's check the inventory. What do those do? Give me steel. Okay, so I got him with a steel sword. That's really the best he can use. Alright, let's do the support.
Thank you for sparring with me, Your Highness. It seems despite how hard I've worked, I'm still no match for you.
Oh, there's no need for such humility. Thanks to all of your hard work, you're improving rapidly.
If you're going to praise me, it should at least be after I've won a match against you.
You know, Ingrid, I may be the victor when we cross spears on foot like this. But on horseback, your handling of a lance is far superior. Can't I be allowed to have my own area of expertise?
No, I cannot allow that. It's my duty to get stronger, to fight with all I have in defense of the kingdom and its people.
Such high stakes. By the way, where did you learn that fierce jab of yours? I'm pretty sure the only other person I've seen perform that move is Glenn.
So you recognized it? Yes, he shared much with me.
I thought as much. I never imagined I would be on the receiving end of one of his techniques again. Glenn and I once studied under the same instructor. I've sparred with him more times than I can count.
Ah, yes. He was never short on praise for you. Lord Dimitri is incredible. Such skill. There's no way I'll ever outmatch him. Things of that sort.
Well now, he never said any of that to me.
Well, he was Felix's brother. That family's not big on displays of affection.
That is true. We spent about as much time arguing as we did training. I can't believe it's been 4 years since the tragedy of Dusker. Since we lost Glenn, along with so many others.
So it has. Time moves quickly. Things have changed so much. Despite the sorrow, I intend to become a powerful knight. A knight like yourself. And like Glenn. I will do so for the sake of my homeland, the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, and for all who have died protecting it. To that end, I hope you will spar with me again in the future, Your Highness.
It would be my pleasure. After all, I value our training sessions as much as you do.
Hold a moment, dog.
Are you speaking to me?
I don't see anyone else here, do you? You're that boar's lapdog.
Do not mock His Highness.
Spoken like a good pet. Why do you follow him with such devotion? Do you really think a man like that is worth it?
Fargus destroyed my homeland. Burned it all to the ground. Slaughtered my people.
The punishment of Dusker.
My father, my mother, my siblings, all were killed. We received no aid, no respite. Fargus murdered our dignity and torched our pride. His Highness is different. He is the only one who sees my people as human. He risked his life to save mine, and it is thanks to him that I no longer wish for death.
That's what we call blind obedience. Tell me, would you give your life for him?
Yes.
And what if he commanded you to join him in a senseless massacre?
I would do it.
Even a massacre of children, or the elderly, or your own comrades?
Without hesitation. You have misunderstood me. I am the sword and shield of His Highness. Weapons do not have a will of their own.
Blind obedience. You're right, I did misunderstand. I shouldn't have called you a lapdog. You're a rabid cur. You and the Boar Prince make quite a team. Two crazed animals.
I warned you not to mock His Highness. I am aware you have a history of friendship with him, but one more word.
I've said my piece. Scamper back to your master.
I just have this feeling that Felix is going to like betray everyone.
Dear goddess, please protect us.
Mercedes.
Oh, Dudu. Was there something you needed?
His Highness sent me to collect you.
I see. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm almost finished here.
You were praying.
I was. Praying for everyone's safety. And praying for good desserts tonight. And that my next exam goes well.
The Fodlan goddess will accept prayers of any sort.
It's true. I've thought the same thing myself. That reminds me, Dudu. Weren't you born in Dusker?
Yes.
Do the people of Dusker pray to the goddess too?
Dusker had a very different view of religion.
Oh?
In Dusker, there were many gods. The sky had a god. The earth had a god. We made offerings to the war god for victory in battle. Held feasts for the sea god to calm the waves.
So your people prayed to different gods depending on what they needed?
Correct.
Your beliefs sound so different from ours. Tell me more.
Why? Dusker is a ruin.
Dusker may be gone, but you're still here. Would you tell me more about it the next time we meet?
If you insist.
Really? That would be great. I'm looking forward to hearing more soon.
Dusker is gone, but I'm still here.
Ugh.
Felix, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. Time for our tactics lecture. You'll be there, won't you?
Those things are such a waste of time.
Nonsense. You're going to be there.
Must I?
Why is this such a chore? You went last time. Though you did all you could to disrupt things, as I recall. Brazenly rambling on about clear-cutting a nearby forest to secure a marching route. And attacking an enemy base, stealing their horses. You were incredibly disruptive, and even rude.
I was offering my honest opinion.
Then, you left before we were finished. What do you suppose happened after that?
I have no idea.
I wonder if the voice of
The
Felix
conversation
is
got quite lively. We all began
Johnny
breaking
Young
down the
Bosch.
viability
It
of
seems
the
like it
somewhat
sometimes.
maniacal plan. And apparently, similar tactics have been used to turn the tides of historic battles.
That may be an exaggeration. Successful armies must be able to handle unexpected situations. That starts with weapon mastery and creative tactics.
If you didn't have so much battlefield experience, you wouldn't be capable of such unique strategies. Which is why we need people like you. People who think creatively to lead the army.
Now you're just massaging my ego.
When have you ever minded?
What's up,
We need
Antonio?
you.
How's it
Just
going,
come
man?
on.
Today's dinner is steak and then a cake that's yummy yum. Now it's time to fill my tummy tummy tum. Oh, this mountain of sweets and treats that I long to eat. Oh, stacks of steaks and cakes and crumbs and yums.
What's up, Chris?
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Felix, you weren't listening, were you?
I heard enough to know that you're hungry.
No, I mean, well, yes. At least tell me you didn't see the dance.
All right, Liquid Master, you say you Liquid Master, you say you're cool, you just woke up, you got woke. Bro, I've been working. I worked from 8:30 p.m. yesterday until about 2 hours ago. Same. Simply Chris, you say you finally got an actual job. What kind of job did you get, man?
You have nice footwork. Get something to eat. I can take over watering the plants.
You're evil, Felix!
And you're shouting.
You can't just spy on people while they're singing without even saying anything! It's not right!
I actually did call out that I was coming in. It's not my fault you didn't hear.
Well, you need to speak louder then! Ugh, this is so embarrassing.
You got part-time stock and Family Dollar. That's what's up, man. Is the pay good?
And of course I was singing some silly food song I made up. I should have been singing about bears or swamp beasties.
I didn't realize there were songs about bears and swamp beasties. That food song seemed to be close to your heart. Your stomach isn't far from your heart, after all.
Oh, you are the worst!
Huh. What was that about?
Yeah, he completely
Better
didn't.
water these plants. Wouldn't want them to get thirsty, or they might start singing too.
He didn't insult her either. That was kind of funny.
Oh, Ash, are you here to study too?
He says by $11 an hour, 10 hours a week for now. Oh, you say part-time, you literally mean part-time, huh? That's like 100. Does it come with any benefits?
I am. It's quiet here. Easier to concentrate.
It really is. Hey, would you like to study together? We can help each other out if we get stuck.
Oh, yes. We'll get a lot more done working together.
Flash?
This question's got me stumped. A ballista inside a castle is ready to fire at enemies outside. What angle should be used for the shot?
Hey man, that's the thing. As long as you got a start, that's all that matters. Decent pay and you put some money in your pocket. I see nothing but up to that.
Assume the ballista is the same as those in Garreg Mach. Ignore the effects of wind. This is for defensive strategy, isn't it? Why is it so complicated? Don't you just aim and fire?
It may help to focus on maximizing target accuracy to reduce your miss rate. To start, let's sort out the setup. Let's see. Using these ballista specifications...
Man, I wish I could only work 10 hours a week. That shift today damn near killed me. 8:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. the next day.
If the ballistic whirls follow this trajectory, they'll hit the enemy lines, right?
Liquid Master, you said I got an iPhone 8 from work. I can use it when I'm at home too. Internet and calls without a limit. It's a great benefit. Oh, so you got an unlimited plan? That's what's up. Chris, you said you still get nervous that I'm gonna mess up or something. Bro, don't even stress about it. That's an easy job. You got it. Don't even stress about it.
Oh, that makes sense. Because the enemy line will be here.
That's it! Okay, now try using that same technique and applying it to this other problem.
If the walls are this high and the enemy lines are at that distance... Oh, I think I see.
I knew you'd get it.
Wow, I didn't expect math of all things to be useful in a siege. This is tough. Numbers are not my strong suit. But this really is the sort of thing you have to know if you want to command troops.
That's true, but not everyone is good with numbers. That's why we have tacticians do these calculations for us, or prepare them before we go to battle. A century ago, the Empire's mathematicians played a huge role in the Battle of the Wall of Fodlan.
I had no idea. Hey, you really know what you're doing, Annette.
You think so?
Definitely. You've obviously done a lot of studying. I really admire
that. Yeah, my interview with Rose surprised a lot of people. A lot of people weren't expecting that. That one was probably the most fun interview I've done in a long time. Like that one, you're just going all out. Like there's nothing was off topic with that one. And it's one of those things too. Like I really enjoy like the podcast where it's like we can just bounce off of each other's energy, and I'm glad like the different personalities that they have. Like, you know, JJ is energetic but balanced, and then Ali is a logical, you know, reserve one, and then Tony's all over the place with the energy. I was able to bounce off of that, so it was fun. Initially it was only supposed to be like I want to say like an hour conversation. Well, 45 minutes to an hour conversation ended up being like almost 2.5 hours. It's crazy. So you watch a couple of their interviews and they play the game with the voice actors. Yeah, you know, and that's one of the things too. We were kind of talking. I think well, it wasn't on the podcast itself, but I know they made a comment, or Ali made a comment about how sometimes it's harder to, you know, it's harder when you have smaller numbers to get recognition or to get like certain people to come on your channel, because, you know, 10,000 to them is not a lot. So it's one of the things like I was telling to Ali, I was like, no, when you get to a certain point and you've built, you know, your reputation to a certain point, doesn't matter how many subs you have. I know, and that's one of the things too. Like I try to stress to other content creators is your subscriber count really doesn't matter. If you are able to make a good impression on one really influential person, that goes with you wherever. Like one of the people I'm actually going to be having on the podcast in the coming weeks is actually Nick Apostolita as his brother. David Apostolides. And for those of you who know, Nick Apostolides is the voice actor and motion capture artist for Leon from Resident Evil 2 remake. And so I'm going to be interviewing his brother, who just released their first EP album. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, his brother's super cool. Some other people I've got lined up for the podcast too that I haven't made any public announcements, but you know, I talked to you guys about it here. I'm going to be interviewing the Sphere Hunter, Susie. So that's going to be really dope. I got to actually meet and hang out with her briefly at E3 when I was with Ruben Langdon. Very, very brief time. We weren't together for very long, but I was able to kick it with them. And I got to introduce Mason Lucas to Ruben, and that was super cool seeing those two take a picture and hang out for a little bit. Yeah, I've got Sphere Hunter lined up, David Apostolides, still got Stone Cold Steve Austin, still got Dave Bautista, CM Punk. I actually teased that on my Instagram and on my Facebook. I haven't teased on Twitter. There's some things I just keep off of Twitter. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people, they always hit me up and they're like, oh, so when is this podcast going on? When is this guest coming on? How come you don't post this on Twitter? And it really comes down to the different demographics, you know, that I have, the different audiences that I have on different social media platforms. With Facebook with my personal account, and to an extent with my brand account on Facebook, which I need to do like a complete overhaul on. Facebook more so caters towards, you know, family and friends that I interact with on a daily, like an immediate. So I can tease things with them because to an extent I'm trying to rope them into my audience, you know, to check out my stuff and to share it, you know, even if they don't care to listen to it. Oh, excuse me. And then also with my Instagram is a bit of a mix between my personal circle, my work circle, because a lot of people I work with actually follow me on Instagram, and I'm able to not only reach out to brands and get brands attention or celebrities attention, but also, you know, the people that I probably would never get the attention of on Twitter. Twitter is good when you have an established brand and you're working with different companies. Instagram is the hook to get people who won't see you on Facebook. They won't see your streams or won't see your content, and they won't see your Twitter. Instagram is the tool to use to just draw in more people that are curious. Now, I've learned how to game Instagram, and there's a whole algorithm to it, which is kind of crazy too. I guess I'm losing viewers by talking about all this, but yeah, like with Instagram, with Instagram, it's interesting because what I've learned is you make a post, make it as descriptive as possible, and also do not use hashtag in your initial post. Use hashtags as the first comment under your post, and then it goes from there. But yeah, I've also got a bunch of other podcasts I've done. I've kind of noticed too, like the trend of my YouTube channel. I'm uploading way more podcasts and doing more streams than I am anything else. And I'm looking at the numbers of that too, like my analytics. I have a lot more people coming through on my streams on YouTube than ever before. But my viewer count for like my podcasts or for my reviews is a lot lower. I will admit that, but you know, at least viewership when I stream is up. So I'm, you know, there's a give and take of everything. And Liquid Master, you say you still need to listen to that podcast with Ro. Yeah, dude, I think you'll enjoy it. Zero, he says, you can tell we were having fun. Dude, we were having so much fun. You're having so much fun.
I suppose I have. Studying is a necessity if you want the advantage over your enemies. But necessity aside, it's nice to hear you say that.
Okay, those two clearly like each other. But Ash can end up with Annette. That's true, man. Time truly does fly when you're having fun.
Nightfall already? Suppose I'd better wrap up.
Good work with your training today, Ingrid. Here's something to wipe up the sweat.
Whoa, Mercedes. Hi. Hello. How long have you been... Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've been here since you started.
That long? Huh. Well, my apologies for not having noticed you. I get so caught up in training, you know. But why are you here? I can't imagine it was too terribly interesting watching me.
I disagree. I just couldn't help but admire your training technique. I have to say, you were very impressive. I'm nowhere near as graceful as you.
Well, that's the thing too. You know, on that interview with Rowan and, you know, on and off air, it was a bit surprising to me that, you know, as big of a brand as they are, with how many subs they have, how many people are subscribed to them on their podcast, that they were unaware of like the process of going to E3. Like, in reality, they could have been going to E3 for the last couple of years, actually. So that was a bit surprising to me to see that. But I have noticed that a lot of the bigger channels, there's a lot of things that they're unaware of that I've found out. And the main reason I find out so much stuff is just because I'm always digging for more information. I'm always looking up stuff. Which is probably why I have such bad insomnia, is because I'm always looking to see what more can be done. Like, how do I go to these events? A lot of it's hidden in the open, and a lot of it you really have to dig to find out. But with the numbers that they have, they don't even need anyone to send them to E3. They could easily just be flown there.
But thank you.
They can get into the event themselves with their numbers.
Goodness me. How so?
You're always so put together. You hold yourself with such poise and have such a keen eye for fashion.
Yeah, Liquid Master, we have talked about it before. It really just comes down to asking. And, you know, like, you're right. Some channels, even the big ones, they do think they're too small to ask for stuff, especially like E3 access. And it just comes down to just asking. You know, and that's one thing with me, is I'm not afraid to ask. Like, I don't fear no. And I'm not saying like they do, or, you know, any other group does, but I think for a lot of people, there's the terror of no, so they avoid it. But for me, it's just like, hell, I'm gonna ask, because if I don't ask, I'm never gonna know. You know?
I mean, even the handkerchief you handed me smells like lavender, is it? It's just lovely.
That perfume is a favorite of mine. I'm so glad you like it.
Even the fact that you thought to put perfume on your handkerchief is delightfully foreign to me. I'd never have thought of that.
I'll gladly share some with you. You're welcome to come visit my room whenever you'd like.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask. You know, and there's a lot of things, a lot of doors have been opened for me just by asking. You know, it's just like, yeah, exactly. Liquid. It's people. They avoid rejection, and it's kind of like I take it back to what Jordan Peterson said years ago. You have to risk being offensive in order to create change or to get progress. You know, and if asking, you know, being such a bold move to do, if that gets you the change that you're looking for, then hell, by all means ask. You know, what's the worst they can say? No? Okay, they say no now. They'll eventually say yes at some other point. You know? been like a lot of companies that wouldn't work with me, and now they will. Something I've actually been keeping on the down low right now, but I'll share it here on the stream. Vertigear, the gaming chair company. I'm going to be interviewing their head PR people, and I'm going to be partnering with them for their chair. They got a new LED chair that they're pushing out that has like the chroma effect of changing color, kind of like the Razer keyboards or the RGB stuff. So they made a post, and I just reached out to them like, hey, I'd love to interview you guys. And then that led into, hey, I would love at some point in the future, I'd love to work with you guys. And then that opened, door. They're like, hey, we'd love to work with you. You're in Hawaii, we want to do something with the people there, so why not? The same thing with like Logitech, like thing there, G Pro, which I think personally, to me, is the best gaming headphone I have ever used. Is these Logitech G Pro X. This is not only the most comfortable headset I've ever used, but the sound stage is just simply phenomenal. Zero, you said you had no idea they made chairs like that. Yeah, I think it's a new prototype that they're, well, not prototype, it's a new model of chair that they're doing. And they really want to push it to a demographic, and I've already got this chroma LED layout thing going as it is. So I told them I'm down to do it. I mean, if you look in the background, if I had it set up, you already see Leihua's Technosport chair, and that's like free marketing in damn near every video I do. And I don't really have any affiliation with like Technosport. Like, I don't work with them, but that's free marketing for them because it just sits in my background. I don't have to push and promote it. But Leihua, she could easily like push it because she's got the quartz chair, the quartz and gray chair. She got the quartz Razer setup, so she could easily push and promote that. She works with Razer and with Technosport. I don't. I only work with Razer. But it's just one of those things where I just tell people, I tell content creators all the time, like, man, work with these companies. I understand there's the idea of, you want to grow by getting your sub count up or getting your view count and all this stuff. That's cool. I'm not going to knock all that. But if you can get a machine behind you, that's even better. Build these, establish the relationships that make it easier for you to make, a vertical move instead of just a horizontal one. And I think a lot of people make horizontal moves and they think they're going up, and they're not. They're where they are. They're just going to they're just going left or right instead of up. Like what you said, sometimes we think for the others, for example, you think they, insert company, will probably say no to me because insert excuse. Facts. And we're not even right all the times. Instead of expecting rejection, we should expect surprises. Exactly, man. One of the things, and I learned this from my therapist. Like, I have a therapist. I'm not ashamed to admit that. See him every Friday. Looking forward to it this Friday. And one of the things he's taught me over the years is to go into situations with no expectations, but stay in a state of gratitude and a state of positivity, but don't project any expectations onto others or to situations. Let it be as it is. That way, whether it's a pleasant surprise or a horrible surprise, either way you're fine. It doesn't sway or move you from where you are. But yeah, it's literally like you said. A lot of people they have too many minds. They're too busy trying to think for themselves, think for someone else. They're coming up with reasons why they're not good enough. And the biggest detriment to a person is themselves more often than not. I mean, hell, I've got the Go XLR just by reaching out to, TC Helicon. And I've got this Rode mic just by reaching out to Rode. It doesn't hurt. But I think the other thing too is with a lot of content creators, and this is one thing, like I said this to Lehua last night, and hopefully Lehua, if you're watching, I hope you took it in a positive sense, because it wasn't meant to put you down. And I've said this to other content creators, and many have taken this the wrong way, but when it comes to content creators, I think a lot of them have no idea what they want. They're just, I'm making content. My question is, why are you making content? What is it that you're trying to do? What is your objective? What is your business plan? Where do you see yourself 6 months from now? Where do you see yourself a year from now? What are you working towards? What's, and the biggest question above all is, what separates you from every other content creator that's out there making content? And the reason I ask that is because I think it's very imperative as a content creator to know why you're doing what you're doing. And a lot of them, like I see, especially a lot of them I see on social media, they're just putting out videos and putting out videos and putting out videos. And there's nothing that differentiates them from one another. So I'm like, okay, given all that, what is the objective? Like, what are you looking to accomplish? What separates you from the pack? Like, if I'm a viewer and I'm going to you, and this is, and I apply that mindset the same way I would if I was a business. Like, if I'm Coca-Cola and I'm trying to reach a demographic, and people are like, oh, you're just another cola maker. There's you, there's Pepsi, there's, whatever. I want to have that brand recognition where if I'm Coke, you drink my soda, that taste, which is fundamentally different than Pepsi, than Shasta or wherever, And I look at that with the same way I look at content creation. So many are just making content with no originality, no differentiation. And it's like, no, what separates you? If a person were to think of you, what makes you different than everyone else? What is it that makes you unique? For me, people think of me, they think of the #1 podcast in Hawaii. Actually, it's true. 2 years in a row. They don't typically think of the Kasanova stream or, my reviews of the Kasanova approved stuff. But I've built a brand and a reputation where they know that, hey, if I go to Mekel's channel or any of his outlets, I'm going to get a review. I'm going to get a podcast. And then that hooks them into other things and they get to see, oh yeah, he also does streams. He also has his shirts. He's got merch. He's got this. He's got that. It opens doors. And it's dope, in my opinion. Sorry about that little rant, that little ramble there, but that's just one of the things sometimes I think about that. I wish a lot of content creators would approach this as a business. And so many just have no idea about it, And I'll put this out there too, because this can come off as potentially arrogant for me to say, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, when it comes to my podcast at this point now, I have guests on that not only am I interested in, but at the same time, it benefits both them and me to do the interview with them, to A, expose them to a new audience, and B, to expose me to a new audience. There's that cross-pollination. I've had a lot of people reach out that want to come on my podcast, And not to be an ass, but it's like a lot of them, if they don't have something unique, like, look at it as, like, I put it this way, like, they don't have to have a major audience or anything like that. But if there's something super unique about them, I have no problem promoting them, you know, to my audience, to you guys. But if it's just, and this is often the case, where I've got content creators that reach out to me about being on my show, and there's no gain. There's no gain for me, and it's honestly, it's just for them, exposure for them. You know, I've got many that they don't watch my podcast, they don't tune into my channel, but when they see I have a big recognizable name, then they want to retweet it, they want to reshare it, they want to like it, then they want to get involved. And they could have done it beforehand, you know, like the whole thing with Row. Now a lot of people are liking resharing it and want to hop on the podcast or hop back on the podcast because of that, or because of any, yeah, exactly. Like you said, man, it's clout chasers. You know, it's a lot of, and I get that from a lot of the smaller channels, especially. And I'm like, no, like it serves me no purpose to have you on my channel, on my show. It serves me no purpose. It does nothing for you. And I think you guys have gotten to a point now, you can tell, like, if I do an interview with some people that I have absolutely no interest in, you can see that difference in my demeanor versus people that I'm genuinely having a good time with. There have been some podcasts that I've done where my energy is low because I'm dealing with someone that has low energy themselves. And as a host, your thing is to, you have to mask that to an extent to where it doesn't show for you that your energy is low, and it also doesn't show that you're carrying the conversation. There've been a lot of interviews I've done where I've had to carry the conversation, and typically, and I'll put this out there too, if I drop only one podcast a week, that means that that podcast is really good. If I drop 2 podcasts in a week, that means that that first podcast did horribly, and it was a low energy podcast. So case in point, what I did this week. So yeah, you know, I've had, especially too, like with people out here in Hawaii, and I'm not trying to shit on people out here, but I've had a lot of them now, especially like the local wrestlers that now want to come on my podcast. They now want to be interviewed only because they've seen me put out promos and trailers like, oh yeah, I'm interviewing Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm interviewing The Rock, I'm interviewing Batista, I'm interviewing CM Punk, I'm interviewing Booker T, I'm interviewing Goldberg. Only now do they want to come on my show. But when I was reaching out to them back in December of last year, November of last year, before I built up my brand to what it is now, they wouldn't fuck with me. You know, they wouldn't. Now all of a sudden, you know, like me having the Hodge, the Hodge twins, I'm gonna have them on at some point. And you know, there's a lot of people who want to hop on that, and I'm like, no, that's not happening. It's just something, you know, clout chasers are everywhere.
We can have tea and chat. How does that sound?
That sounds really nice. Yes. Sipping tea and having a chat. It's unlike me, but it sounds lovely.
From now on, we'll meet up whenever we have time. We can go right now if you're free.
Oh, no need to trouble yourself and rearrange things for me.
It's no trouble at all. You'll never know if you're the type who enjoys chatting over tea if you never try.
All right then.
So... Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. The goddess's rite of rebirth is this month, right? The monastery gates will be thrown wide open on that day. I'll be working as a guide. I hope I get to guide some lovely ladies around.
I can't even knock him for that.
Professor, while the investigation is important, don't forget to make time for your training. If we have to battle and cannot win, all will be lost. We don't know who our enemy is, so we must be prepared for anything. Could be.
He said famous people can be disappointing. I know a journalist in Brazil that actually told me he hated to interview his idols when he was less famous. They treated him like trash.
No.
I've gotten to a point.
Professor, if we have to battle, if we don't know who...
Let's see.
No. 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 No.
Yeah, she didn't seem like someone who...
No.
Alright. I will say this, like, most of the people that I've interviewed that I am a fan of, some have been letdowns. I'll admit that. But it hasn't been any of the like the void. I'll put it this way. The voice actors have all been dope. You know, they're all cool. But
so sleepy. Too sleepy.
I
found an interesting book in the library. Got so caught up reading it, I forgot to sleep.
I'll say the most disappointing group of people I've ever had to actually deal with was other content creators, other YouTubers. Many have treated me like trash because I'm not famous or not known within their circles, or they present themselves in a way on their videos, and then when you actually talk to them, they're entirely different. As far as like voice actors, celebrities, they've all been dope, you know, and that's just the amazing part of it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I understand everyone's looking for clout, and I'm not trying to say like I've got all this clout. I just have connections that I have established over the last 2 years, and I'm continuing to grow my network, you know. And I think a lot of people, especially people out here in Hawaii, they're starting to see that, and they want in on what I'm doing. And it's like, well, you could have had that. You could have joined me at some point beforehand, you know. But it is what it is. You know, like I've been told that I need to start catering more to the Hawaii demographic, because a lot of people out here feel that my content is not made for them. And I've been completely frank about it. Like, yeah, I've got the #1 podcast in Hawaii. That's factually true. If you Google or search #1 podcast in Hawaii, mine is the one that shows up. Mine is the one that's ranked #1. But I don't cater to a Hawaii audience because I have a global audience. And it means more to me to cater to my global audience than to cater to a community that probably never will support me. And if they could or did, it would only be limited anyway, if that makes sense. Because there are podcasts out here. There's many other podcasts out here, and they talk about shit that only would matter to people here. And even the people that hear that it matters to, it would be very, very limited, you know. What's up, Chips?
Interesting discovery, though. The coffins of the 4 saints in the sanctum each have their crests carved into them. I'll need to find a way down there to get a look.
Yeah, bro, we diving into some deep topics over here. Basically, the only thing I wouldn't say you missed anything. Hold on, I've been meaning to do this for a minute. There you go. I just covered a couple things, like as far as like content creators. I was covering how my vision is for content creators to see themselves as a business and to grow themselves accordingly as a business, not only with building their audience, their regular viewers and whatnot, but also establishing themselves as a brand to be able to get a machine behind them. And I'm not saying like corporate sellout or you just show whatever a company throws at you. No, don't do that. But get a company, get companies that will promote you, like utilizing their resources, their influence, their range to push you. And also having the support of companies as well as the support of your audience and your fan base and just growing organically as a business. I think that is very important. And also just having that opportunity. I've had other channels that significantly bigger than me that have said things such as like, you are, with only 11,000 subscribers, you're a small channel, but how are you able to do things that you're doing? And I tell people all the time, the reason I'm able to do the things I'm doing is because I'm always networking. I don't allow my subscriber count to influence or limit me from what it is I want to accomplish. I don't care how big or small a brand or a company or anything is. If I want to grow, then I'm going to, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do what I need to do to
It's not mine.
make that happen. Yeah, I think it's kind of a imperative thing because you want to be able to grow beyond the audience that you initially start out with. And that's not to say that you want to ignore that audience that you start out with or just get rid of them eventually or switch gears. I just think that, like, okay, case in point, we'll use The Rock as an example. He started out doing football, right? Football fell through, and then he went from football to wrestling, and then blew up as a wrestler. And then being a wrestler and his skills on the mic and in the ring and his physicality and everything like that, he was able to position himself to where he could utilize that to establish an acting career. He got into acting. And he did, and I remember he did stuff on TV shows like Star Trek and SNL, and then he went on to be in the Scorpion King, and he grew his influence and his brand recognition, his brand value beyond the wrestling ring, beyond Saturday Night Live, beyond smaller movies to where he is now. The guy is a brand that everybody wants, and that's the perfect example of what I look at as like what I want to do with my brand.
I bought the ingredients for making some sweet treats I can't wait to eat. Huh? Oh, I know it looks like I'm fooling around, but I'm not. I'm preparing for potential battle during my patrol by making sure I have plenty of food I can eat while walking. Smart, huh?
Yeah, it was not a great movie, but it was a good enough pivotal point for him to be able to push to the next echelon of wherever he needed to go. It opened doors. And that's the one thing too, excuse me, when a door opens or an opportunity comes, make the most of that, and just go with it. It may not even be what you want to do or what you want, but If that door opens, that opportunity comes, fuck it. Do what you gotta do. What's up, Dave? You back from lunch, man? What you eating? Man, I need to eat. Your boy's mad hungry. Bro, I've been meaning to do that for a minute. Every time like you pop up, I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. And then I get distracted and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't. It's like, oh, but then I saw you here. I was like, hold on, let me go ahead and hit you with that mod status. And what she said, she's preparing for a potential battle during my patrol by making sure I have plenty of food I can eat while walking. Smart, huh?
I just thought I'd be more alert if I had something sweet in my tummy. Oh wait, was it spicy food that you like, Professor? Thank you.
Have some tea with her. How am I liking this game? You say you're struggling with it? I'm enjoying it. I'm just taking my time with it. I like the intrigue of the story and the direction of the narrative. But I do think I believe it can be off-putting to some people. Dave, you said tea time? I mean, exactly. We over here with the tea and I'm like, you know, tea is a good thing. I mean, she wanted tea, but I'm over here like,
Yeah! Look at that form, man! Look at that! Look at it! Respect it. Yeah! Look at that form!
yeah, I don't know. I'm a damn fool when it comes to the women up in this game. Well, in real life too, but don't tell my wife that. Tip, she said, it's dawning for you. Actually, there's so much to do. Yeah, dude, I'll admit that there is. It can be very overwhelming because there is so much that's thrown at you. Especially if you're coming from classic Fire Emblem, you're used to the story part and then you go on to battle. But this one, it's like, no, you go and you got to explore. You got to establish a relationship, which is dope. I do dig it. Yeah, Dave, I'm being a damn fool. You know it. Liquid Master, you said The Rock is also a very likable guy with charisma. That's something you just have. It's not something you can learn. Agreed. It really is. It's a very pivotal part of your character, of who you are, how you're gonna grow. You've got to have that charisma. You got to be likable. You got to be marketable. You know, and that's something that, you know, you can't coach. I'm gonna pull something from, I don't know if a lot of you guys played like the NFL 2K series back in the day on the Dreamcast and the original PS2 and GameCube and Xbox, but there's something they used to say, you can't coach that. And it's true, you can't. It's something you either got or you don't. And it's something that The Rock or Dwayne Johnson has just really, he has the naturally infectious personality and drive, and he just keeps striving for more and more and more. He keeps doing greater and greater and greater, and it's just one of those things. Like, he's really been able to establish himself and build his brand. He's come so far. It's funny because some fans are like, they wish he would go back to wrestling. I'm like, man, screw that. You've built yourself up to a point where, I mean, the guy owns like a portion of Voss Water. You know, he was out here doing his movie. I know people like, oh, he's out here for the Mauna Kea thing. Actually, that was more of a convenience. He can go there and talk about the situation, but he didn't actually pick a side for the telescope or against it. A lot of people ain't picked up on that. Dave, you said Tea Party is way more natural than what they had. Bro, you are going to bury Fates as much as you possibly can, huh? Chip, she said, bro, there's story time, relationship building, stats building, a whole bunch of stuff. Dude, there is so much in this game to do. So, like, I'm over here like, I got to figure out what I'm going to do in my day. It's almost too much like real life if you think about it. Liquid Massey says some guys just have that charisma you immediately hate, like Chris Frito Cuomo. Oh God, are you trying to get me in trouble, Liquid? You know that's Lucas's job to talk about that. Chips, it is, bro. It's like real life. I'm over here like, man, I got 3 options, like 3 skill points I can use. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna talk to somebody? Am I gonna go out and fish? Am I gonna train? Am I gonna do battle? Like, I've only got so many days in a month because certain things you can only do within a certain time frame. I'm like, shit, this is way too much I gotta do. Yo, what's up, Chris? If she said, I'd be like, I'm doing this shit tomorrow. Bro, for real though. For real. And Liquid, man, I'm telling you, trying to keep me. I gotta get Lucas back on the show, bro. Oh my goodness. Zero, you said the Persona games are like that, but in Persona you do stuff almost every day, while this game skips days a lot. Bro, it does. It skips a hell of a lot. And you're like, oh shit, I can't do that today. Alright, so it says tea parties. Host tea parties to bond with your allies. The charm stats of Bailiff and guests will increase too if you're a good host. Try to pick conversation topics that you think your guests will like. If they're having fun, they might choose topics of their own as well. Keep your guests happy and they will stay as long as you like. So basically, in other words, all I got to do is keep them like,
Yeah! Look at that form, man. Look at that. Look at it. Respect it. Yeah! Look at that form, man. Look at that. Look at that. Respect it. Yeah! Look at that form, man.
bro, I'm having too much fun with this damn mixer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I swear, like this Go XLR, I'm supposed to do a review on this joint too. And I eventually I will. But I'm having way too much fun with it. But the thing is, it is a bitch to set up. And if you're using a USB mic, and I don't know. Wait, Chips, you got one too? Oh, wait. Not even far into the game. Yeah, like the Go XLR, like I like the different things I can do with it. Like I like that I can turn on the effect and I can sound like I'm coming through a megaphone. Or if I want, I can change it and sound like I'm a robot if I really want to do that. It's fun. Or I can change it up and sound like a hard tone or whatever that is if I want that effect. Or if I want to change my voice to be either more masculine or if I want to change it to be more effeminate, although I don't think I have much femininity for it to actually work with. Other things I can do too, I think. I can change up the echo. I can sound like I'm lost. I can turn that off. I think there's reverb. Ooh, that's crazy. All this is a press of a button. Or if I want to like cuss, I can always just say something over here like. Although, I just let shit fly anyway. Liquid, you say Lucas can only come back to your show if he doesn't talk through his microphone, his phone mic. It was a great show, but damn, that audio RIP headphone users that day. You said I need an Alex Jones voice effect. I do. I need to add that into the mixer. Too, she's seen how even that far into the game. Oh, you meant the mixer. Oh, Chris, you said I'm second this game, so I'm taking a break and doing other things. Where are you guys stuck at? You're on chapter 5. I don't even know. I need to check and see where I'm at.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, girl.
I love this tea. Is it a favorite of yours as well?
Yeah, you know that.
Thank you. Whew, it's piping hot. Okay. Wow.
I mean, you know, it's second nature. I mean, you can just look at a. I mean, look, let's break this down. Let's break this shit down. Look at her eyes. You know, I got her engaged. She's staring deeply and intently. Look, she just looked away, kind of small, kind. And then, you know, you look at her body language. She's sitting upright, shoulders back, tits popped out. Well, not popped out, but you know, chest out. And then she's got her hands down. She keeps, you know, touching, and she's got that little smirk. And I can tell. All I gotta do is just say a couple things, and then eventually it's gonna be like,
Yeah! Look at that form, man.
just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. Gypsy Sam Leary on the next bout after the Rhea assassination attempt. Mekel is saying anything to get the snoo. I mean, if y'all already know, the one I'm trying to put the snoo on is
It's piping hot.
what's the chick? Big booty Judy Teagle Bitties. You see, I believe I am on the same battle. The first one I can't use Edelgard, and I tried 4 times. Oh, see? I'm just giving y'all an example of how you don't carry the conversation. See what I mean? Got one more chance. Bring it back. Blah, blah, ideal relation to cute monks. Yeah, because, you know, she seemed like the type you know, you gotta talk to her a certain way.
The only way to clean is to clean with all your might. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Are you sure?
See, that's an example of what you don't do.
Thanks for the treat. It was so yummy.
Over here looking like Wendy's. At least she ain't trying to roast me like Wendy's. Mekel, do you know if there are actually games where the goal is to get the girls, maybe like a weird Japanese anime girl game? I mean, there's the Leisure Suit Larry series. That's about as much as I know. That's the only thing I can think of is the Leisure Suit Larry series. Where is the dude at? I'm actually shocked that that series is still ongoing. I think they had some games on the Switch too. Wait, you said the Gal Gun games are weird. Yeah, that's true.
There's been talk of an attempt on Rhea's life. We've been ordered to help the Knights patrol. Could that possibly mean that Rhea isn't beloved by everyone the world over?
On PC, I'm not too sure what's on PC that has that theme.
I don't know who
It's a lot of
supported all
weird
this
shit
commotion,
on
but it's
Steam.
frankly
I'll say
a
that
huge
much.
Inconvenience. With everyone stuck on guard duty, our study and training time has been drastically reduced.
Do you guys want me to go more into like the differences in the algorithm on like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook? Like what gets attention and all that? I can go into detail on that because it's something I've been learning, especially from some of the guests that I've had on my show, and some of my conversations with the staff for each outlet. The main and Gal gun accidentally gets hit with an overpowered shot like Keep It Arrow said, Max, so every girl falls to him. I mean, I could talk, Chips, I can talk freely about it now. Like I don't, the reason I'm not going to do a video about it is because there's so much that's out there. And I think a lot of people, I think because there is so much oversaturation out there, a lot of people probably don't watch it. Like majority, what's up, Stripe Mix? Majority of stuff that I would even cover anyway is stuff that you can find Harris Heller, Ashley Christ, or many other people talk about. But like there's no. I think the biggest thing is just understanding how to game the system. So Liquid Master, you said my brother asked me the other day. Sometimes we take long walks and try to invent concept for games just for class. I dig it. So, and, you know, and I touched on this briefly earlier in the stream. How you utilize social media to build, you know, build your brand, to grow your brand, and to draw in, retain your current audience and draw in new audiences. Each of the social media platforms has a different purpose. There are things that I will share on Instagram or Facebook that I will not share on Twitter. And it is just because Twitter and Instagram, I mean Facebook to a lesser extent as well, they appeal to different types of audiences. Facebook is typically going to cater towards the closest of closest to you, your family, your friends, people that know you on a deeper personal level. And so with that, there are things that I'll share on there. Like I share a lot more stuff on Facebook than I do on the other two platforms, just because I'm trying to get in people I know, but also more so to get them to share with people that I have no connection to. And that's my ability of getting things out to a wider potential audience, you know, people who might have some type of fascination. And that's also why as content creators, we have to be okay with what's called the ask. You know, you have to ask for certain things. Like that's why you have to be okay with asking for people to subscribe to your channel, ask them to share your videos or share your content if they enjoy it. You know, if you're a podcaster, ask people to do you a favor if they've got time or a couple seconds to leave a rating on your podcast or write a review. You guys have seen me post about that. And I'll tell you this, I went from on my podcast on Apple Podcasts, I went from having 2 reviews, and then when I put out the ask, I'm now sitting at 13, 14 reviews, and it's all just because I asked, you know. But I put that on Facebook. I also put that on Twitter, you know, because a lot of my podcast audience comes from Twitter. And so, you know, I know how to appeal to that demographic. there are things that I share on Instagram. And the biggest tool you can ever use, especially if you're a content creator, Instagram stories. So if you make an Instagram post in the story section, be it a picture, be it a video, make sure you put like a bit of dialogue. Like any of you who follow me on Instagram, you've seen how like my stories, I have like a little blurb, and there are certain things that I make sure I do. I always make sure I put a hashtag, because that is essential for you to get noticed by people, not only that follow you, but people that don't follow you, that may not have even heard of you, that are a potential audience for you. It's essential for you to use the hashtag and use a relevant hashtag. One I like to use, unless like if it's not anything specific, I'll use something like Wednesday thoughts, Thursday thoughts, Wednesday motivation, whatever. It's a generic one. If it's specific that I'm going after, I'll use a specific hashtag. Also, make sure you tag yourself in your post. Make sure you use the location feature. Tag your location. And then also make a second blurb where it's like, for more content, make sure you follow. And utilize the finger emoji to point to wherever your at is. It's super essential to do that. And I'm seeing astronomical growth on Instagram just by doing that. Twitter is a different... Oh, okay. Another thing about Instagram. And y'all can stop me if it's boring you all that I'm talking about this. But other thing about Instagram, you make a post is very descriptive. They put as much into it as you can. But do not put hashtags in your initial post. It actually goes against the algorithm of Instagram. Make your post and then be the first to make a comment on your post. Like after you post it, go and comment on your post, and in that comment put all of your hashtags, which you can do up to 30 on Instagram. Keep them relevant. Use highly searched ones, use low search ones, and make 2 or 3 original ones to you. Make yourself a hashtag, and you'll see you'll start to attract a bigger audience too. People that may be following one of those hashtags, they'll come and follow you, or they'll comment. And that's the other thing too. Make sure, even if it's those bot accounts that make comments, engage. Say, hey, thank you, because that will also push the Instagram algorithm to help you. When it comes to Twitter, I see a lot of people use certain things. There are different things I've seen that I think people should not use, and it's that's actually untrue. It does matter. It definitely does matter. It works towards your benefit to put it in the comment. For Twitter, you do not want to use more. I mean, to be completely honest with Twitter actually, if you use more than say 3 hashtags, Twitter actually will bury your post. Because Twitter, the way the algorithm on Twitter works, it will look at the post as if it's spam. You know, you see a lot of people put in like 5 or 6 hashtags or more. And there's another one I see content creators use, and I've used it too, but it actually doesn't do shit for you. To support small streamers, support small content creators. Don't use that, and don't utilize those retweet bots, because that's all it is. It's a bot. It doesn't really engage your an audience, and it also reinforces the follow for follow bullshit. So if you make a tweet on Twitter, I mean, don't use more than 3 hashtags. Make them relevant to your post. And it also too, Twitter, just like Instagram, they favor video over pictures, or just generic, or at least make it a post that's going to be captivating. Because Twitter, like Instagram, is very visual. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, the algorithm constantly changes, but in conversations I've had with Twitch staff, well, not Twitch, Twitter and Instagram staff, with stream coaches, content creator coaches, and businesses for entrepreneurs, that is what I found that works. I've also used it myself, so I do know it works. I've noticed a difference of when I use all those hashtags and when I don't. When I use all of them, there's no traffic, because it's like, I think a better way to look at it is you're telling the algorithm, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do with this post, so just throw it everywhere, versus giving it a clear, concise direction of, okay, this is your post, and then you comment and you put all that in there. But that's how that works.
What? Did someone lose that? It's not mine.
Twitter, don't use more than 3 hashtags. Don't use retweet bots, and don't use the support small streamers, content creators bullshit. Yeah. Facebook hashtags do not matter on Facebook at all. Yeah, I don't even know why people use hashtags on Facebook. It doesn't do shit. But yeah, that's some of the stuff when it comes to the 3 big platforms. Snapchat I can't speak on. I personally don't care for Snapchat. I don't use it. Well, actually I do use it. There's one of my one person I know exclusively reaches out to me using Snapchat, but other than that, like, I don't use it to promote or push anything other than that. Like what you said, I'm really interested in the logic behind those algorithms, because why is it against it to use hashtags in the original post? Because it can come off as spam. That's pretty much it. Because there's so many bot accounts that will throw in so many hashtags in the original post that they get flagged. So when the algorithm sees you're spamming so many hashtags, it'll bury it, and you don't engage an audience. Like, if on my Instagram stories, I average viewership on my stories of about 400 or 500 viewers per post when I do the story part. When it's just a traditional, because that's why I'm limited to how many times I actually post on Instagram, because with Instagram, getting stories out is actually a bigger way of growing audiences. But even that varies. Like, the only time I really post is if it's something important, or if I'm like bullshitting. Like the last couple posts I've made, like the fuck this shit I'm out. Fuck this shit I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'm just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. That one or the having a beer one, just because I've been fucking overwork. But yeah, that's how those work. But that's also why I say like also working with companies and getting a machine behind you to where you can utilize their resources of promotion to grow yourself. That's also really important. Like the different partnerships that I have with different companies. And I guess we can also touch on that too, because I think that's also an important topic to talk about. My friend Harris Heller, he actually recently talked about the differences with affiliate programs and sponsorships and what's actually beneficial and what's actually not beneficial for content creators, streamers, YouTubers, and whatnot. A lot of these programs that are very easy to get into, like a lot of the different affiliate programs, they're easy to get into because all they're trying to do is use you for advertising, and you get very little out of it. And it's also why it's imperative to know your worth and your brand value, and it's okay to say no. Like I know he used in his video, and I'll use this as a point of reference, but like Razer, right? So they've got the Razer streamer program, and if you're, they want you to put that on your streams, and you'll be featured. You could get featured on their Twitch or their social media outlets. They could push and promote you. But ultimately, you have to look at what are you getting out of it. If you don't have a big social media reach, there really isn't any value to that other than saying, hey, I'm a Razer streamer, but all you are is a walking billboard advertisement for them. If you got the almost famous rank, which is what I have, then there are certain benefits you get out of that. Like for me, one of the benefits that I get is the ability to, I get items, like different things they'll send me: headsets, controllers, mics, different gear, laptops, you name it, the Razer phone. Those are things that I get as a benefit of being part of the program. But the thing is, I kind of grandfathered into the program because I was already working with Razer prior to them making that announcement of that program itself. One second, let me readjust this mic. Okay, that's better. And again, you guys can stop me if any of this is getting boring. But yeah, so like I've already established a relationship with Razer. I've already been working with them on different things, so it's just an added bonus for me to be part of their streamer programmer as the almost famous tier, which is the highest tier that they have. And it gets you, like when new gear comes out, they'll send it to you, whether it's a computer, headphones, mic, whatever, they'll send it to you because you're part of that echelon. There are other affiliate partnerships that really don't benefit you. One that actually does not benefit a lot of people, and I see a lot of people use it, is Restream.io. And it's kind of funny that I'm actually gonna say Restream.io is not worth it, because I've made a lot of money from working with them before. I've made a couple grand this year using it, promoting it. But ultimately it doesn't help, because you could use something like what I'm using now. It's like XSplit, and you can stream to multiple platforms. Like I'm streaming to Mixer, which is, like I said before, that's where I want to be the home of my streams. And I'm also streaming to YouTube. I have that as well. I have an established audience on YouTube that doesn't or may not want to at any point soon transition over to Mixer, but eventually. So I want to keep both audiences there. But with XSplit, I'm able to do that. If I have Restream, I can do that, but I'm stuck at 480p at 30 frames per second unless I spend additional money, because everything with XSplit is a la carte, and you just have to pay for every additional feature that you want. You want to stream to Facebook? That's an additional $15 to $20 a month. You want to be able to stream to more than one YouTube or Twitch or Mixer channel? Okay, that's an additional $25 a month. It adds up. And Restream on top of the monthly fee at $8 a month, it just ultimately you don't really gain from it. You could end up spending 60 or more, up to $100 on Restream, especially if you want higher quality streams, because it already throttles you. And even then you have to spend money on rendering hours if you want a quality stream, and then they divvy that up between the outlets that you're streaming on. So yeah, Restream doesn't benefit streamers. And I personally don't like how the management is. I have a personal issue with them too, but it's kind of a long scam in a way, so I don't ever recommend Restream. Other programs, like I know Corsair has one. Oh, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for that. Thank you for the follow. Speaking of which, we need to talk offline about rescheduling a podcast. But yeah, there are certain ones that do kind of benefit you, like Corsairs. If you, okay, put it this way. If you use a lot of a product, like you use a lot of Corsair products, which is Elgato, you know, their headsets, then that's beneficial to you. Plus, I mean, I would rock with Corsair just because, hey, I mean, you get free capture card stuff, free headsets, free gear like that. Appreciate that, bro. So it's like that's beneficial for you, you know, and plus you can get a kickback, you know, especially if you have like the affiliate links, then you can utilize that to push yourself further. You can, you know, if people are following your streams and they can buy the different items, and that allows you to make a profit. You know, you get a kickback, which they have a good percentage commission back for sales using their affiliate links if you're part of their program. And I think if they're higher up, then they also pay you on top of, you know, so that's actually a good one. There's the other one like with not LG. What's his name? Logitech. I don't know why I wanted to say LG. But with like Logitech, you know, they now own Blue. So like your Blue Yeti mics, you know, all that, they're under them. That's another company that I have not publicly announced it, but I'll announce it here on the stream. I am now in partnership with Logitech. And so with that, it allows me, I got this headset, which I said before, this is one of the best gaming headsets and just audio headsets I've ever used, period. They didn't pay me to say that, but it's really good. But like if you're invested in Blue products, then, you know, or you like Logitech, which, you know, nice speakers, whatever, it benefits you to work with them, you know, to be part of their affiliate program or their partner. Actually, I think they're more of a partner program. So it actually works in your benefit because it's like, hey, you get gear you love and you get paid and you get affiliate links that you can push out to people as well. When people like it and they buy it, you get a kickback, which they also have a nice kickback as well for their affiliate links that they give you. Plus you get to, you know, test out their different things. Like with what I'm looking forward to is getting the Blue Spark and the Blue Ember. Those are two microphones I want to use, as well as like the blue. There's a blue headphone. I got the name of it, but it's got a built-in DAC in it. It's super nice. I appreciate that, man. You guys are being awesome tonight. Whatchamacallit? It's another company. Oh yeah, another company that's really good to work with too. Astro. You know, they're kind of a premier when it comes to different equipment, and you know, when it comes to that Astro, the C4E controller is actually one of the best PlayStation 4 controllers I've used. That's on par with the Elite controller for Xbox. You know, you get to be part of their partner program and be sponsored. Actually, with them, not only do they offer a partnership, but they offer a sponsorship. So, you know, and I do have a partnership with Astro. You know, you get the Astro headset, you get to use the controller, you get, you know, they pay you. So, you know, that benefits that. Plus, they promote you as well, you know, and that's one of the other things that's really, really dope, being able to work with Astro, you know, and especially if you love the brand. Again, if you love the brand, it benefits you. There's just so much that is out there that, you know, there are times when I just feel like I wish it was easier to find this information as a content creator, so that you don't just, and that's the other thing too, don't slap their label on everything you're doing. Don't slap a hashtag into your streams unless they're breaking you off some money. Don't slap their logo on any of your streams or your reviews unless they're paying you. Don't allow a company to use you for free advertising. Okay? I need y'all to hear me on that. Don't allow them to use you if you're not getting a kickback. You know? You guys are probably going to see me starting to push GameStop stuff, because I've got it's in the process, but a partnership that I'm working on with GameStop. I know a lot of people hate GameStop, but I actually have no issues with GameStop. But don't let these companies use you. I've had companies before that have sent me headphones or sent me gear that ultimately they just wanted to use me for free publicity, as well as the podcast and everything else I have. Do not allow yourself to be put in that position. You know, always look out. It's okay to say no. And it's okay to, you know, to take time. And, you know, if you're not going to say no, or you're curious, you want to say yes, but you want to learn more about the brand or the company, take your time, you know. It's okay to be patient, you know, and to not immediately just jump on it because you're thinking, oh shit, if I don't take it now, then I'm gonna be screwed over. No, you got to look out for you first. You got to make sure it benefits you, or it puts you in a position to be somewhere down the road that you'd rather be, you know. So always approach it from that way. If there are contracts that are involved, be very careful with that. Make sure you look over different contracts. You know, if that also requires you to like go down to like a lawyer's office and just have them look it over, or if, you know, or even if you gotta pay like a couple bucks or a couple $100 for that, it's more worth it to do that than to be caught up in a situation where you're legally obligated to sign something. You're legally obligated to do something that may go against your moral values, or doesn't benefit your brand, and you're stuck. That's another thing too, is like whatchamacallit, MCNs. I do not recommend MCNs to anyone.
It seems there were forces opposing the church beyond Lord Lonato.
But then again, there may be some MCNs that, you know, may be beneficial for you guys. I just am of the mindset that if you've got social media and you're able to talk to companies, there's no need for you to have an MCN. There's no reason for you to have someone to cut into your finances for their own gain and their own promotion.
I never thought such forces could exist in this world.
You said GameStop hasn't hurt you, so you have no issue. I've got such great relationships with GameStop. Like, I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I'll show you now. But because I'm so cool with GameStop, I've got the Fire Emblem poster. And access to a lot of stuff too.
I suppose that may be true. What's this? Yes, this is mine.
Could that possibly?
I don't know if... What? Did someone... What? What?
Are there any is there anything you guys would like to know that you want me to cover? Want me to talk about for the next half an hour half an hour we'll be doing this stream? I'll talk about anything. If there's anything you guys would like me to speak on, or if there's anything that you're working on or you're dealing with that you would like some assistance with, you know, or want an opinion on, just let me know.
The monks declined my offer of assistance. They said that no one from Dusker is to be trusted, especially now. Given the circumstances, I cannot fault them.
Good Mario Maker too. Dude, I never even played the first one, to be honest.
That belongs to me. I apologize for the trouble.
That's the other thing too. I know a lot of people want me to play certain games with them, and that's something else too. Like, I guess I can cover. It is the further you get into content creation, you start getting games to review, or you start getting, you know, things that companies want you to do for them, or you can, you know, opportunities for yourselves. Your time really becomes a commodity that you just don't have a whole lot of. Like for me, there's a lot of times I have people constantly ask me, hey man, let's play this game. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. As much as I want to, I just don't have the time. Like, I don't have the opportunity to do so, because I've got X amount of reviews I have to work on, X amount of promotional things I need to put out, meetings I need to attend via like what's that app, Team Viewer or whatever, things I have to look over, you know. And especially in this coming month now, I'm partnering up with HawaiiCon, you know, and I'm going to be doing a lot of things with them. You know, chief among them is I'm going to be working personally with Vic Mignogna, aka Broly, and aka Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist. That's about as much as I can talk on that, but it's like I'm stretched so thin. If I didn't have a job, like a day job, I'd be better off. But yeah, it's damn near impossible. Let's see what you guys say. Zero, you say you got the first one, still need to pop it in and try it. Sprite, you said Nintendo is taking a backseat for me this year in terms of first party titles. I've been focused on fighting games and shoot 'em ups. You had to retract that. That's fine. I dig it though. Chris Levy, you said, I like what you've been talking about. I've never contacted a company, to be honest. I've only ever talked to SteelSeries after I got their headsets. They did like retweet my stuff, so it was cool. And this is something I want you guys to understand too when it comes to reaching out to companies. And this is something that Liquid Master on Mixer, he had said it earlier in the stream. And Liquid, if you're still here, chime in. Never approach a company with the mentality that you're too small. There are challenges that are huge that think they're too small to work with a company. Your numbers don't matter. It's knowing your worth and your brand value. And just saying, hey, this is what I can do for you. You got to look at it as business. How can you benefit them? You know, maybe you don't have the widest audience reach, but can you put out something that is quality, original, marketable? That's what they look at. All right, Liquid, it's good to see you still here. Zero, you said it's always interesting to hear advice and your experiences with content creation. It's a journey. I've been doing content creation pretty soon. I want to say like in 2 days I will make 3 years on YouTube. And you know, I've been through it all with you know, trying to do the small content creator thing, trying to make raw, you know, unfiltered reviews or blogs or clapbacks. I've done a lot of things, and it's in that experience that I've been able to grow and learn and just realize that there's a lot of things that are unnecessary that people do, and there are things that you can do to exponentially grow yourself. Liquid, you said you can use the fact you're in Hawaii for companies that alone can be reasons and stuff. That's on the money. That is on the money. That's actually one of the things, like I tell Lehua too. I tell her frequently. It's like, you reaching out to a company, and this again is not to shit on people from Hawaii, but we don't really have a lot of representation when it comes to the tech or gaming scenes. And to say, hey, you know, I'm a Hawaii-based content creator. You are putting the emphasis on Hawaii, which hardly any of these companies have any footing in, but they all are hungry for it. I'm just trying to get her to understand that, like, you need to start doing that more. Because, oh, I'm a girl streamer. Oh, no one fucking cares about that. You know, there are dime a dozen female streamers out there. But put out that you are a
Is it true you got caught in the fight?
Hawaii-based content creator.
I'm so thankful you made it out alive. I don't know what we would do if we lost you.
It's the same thing too. You could do with, like, if you're, you know, if you're in Alaska. I mean, I feel like you could do that with wherever you are, especially if you have a very unique niche. You can push and promote and market that. It's easy. Like, honestly, working with companies is one of the most fun things I've ever had the opportunity of doing. I'm so excited too to be able to interview people from, like, one of the head PR people from actually head content relations and marketing managers for Aver Media. You know, yeah, I applied for their partner program. I would love to be partnered. Not partner, the sponsor program. I would love to be sponsored by Haver Media because I use their products. I love it. I've had no issues with it. But I'm more of a person that, and that's the main purpose of me doing my podcast, is to reveal this information to people, like yourselves that are watching or listening, so you can understand, and also for myself too, so we can understand why companies do certain things, why they operate a certain way, or why, different influencers or celebrities, or, it's to peel back that veil and gain a new understanding and how we can utilize that for ourselves. Liquid, you said being a gamer girl can be a huge pro because the company maybe wants to be more popular within the female gaming community. I can see that. I can also see that going both ways, where it's like there's the emphasis on the fact that you are a gamer who happens to be female. And I think there are also companies and groups that focus on the fact that you're just a female, and that's the most defining trait about yourself. I think a lot of companies are kind of going overboard with that now, because now this is a raw take, and people can take it how they want, but for me, Chris, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. This is a raw take, but I don't give a fuck if there's a girl who games. I couldn't care. I couldn't give two shits about that, because as a gamer, I look at a person. Do you game? If you game, we cool. I don't give a damn about your sex, your sexual orientation or preference. I don't give a fuck what your race is, your ethnicity, your religion. You like games? I like games. We got commonality. We're gamers. And I think this push, and it's a noble push, but at the same time, I think a lot of it is misguided with this push for inclusion and diversity. If it's organic, I get it. It's cool. Let that happen. But when it's forced, you're doing way more harm than good. I don't know who that is. I got another follow. Thank you for the follow. Whoever, I can't read Sanskrit or whatever that is. Like, I'm all for there being more, like, if it makes sense in the story to have more, if you want to make a story more realistic and have multiple races in games, or multiple, sexual orientation characters in games, then cool. But I don't need the defining trait of a character to be that, oh, they're a woman, oh, they're gay, oh, they're bi, oh, they're this. No, give me a reason to be invested in the character. Let me see what they're struggling against, what they're working toward. Let that be, and how they handle the conflict. And I think that's kind of how a lot of these companies are going wrong. Is because they're just pushing. They're pushing too hard. And it's also part of the fourth wave feminism that we have. Third/fourth wave feminism we have going on. Which I have nothing wrong with equality for women. But let's be frank. Women do have more advantages than we men do. And for many, it ain't about equality. It's about dominance. At least that's what I'm saying. But that's a hot take. Sprite Mix, you mentioned putting yourself out there. I got a beta code for a shoot 'em up game from an indie company because I put myself out there that I'm a fan of the genre. That's exactly it, man. That's it. There's nothing special to it. Just reach out, show your enthusiasm, let them know you want to work with them, and what you can do. That's it. That's how you do it. How is that game, by the way? That you got the code for. You don't have to name it if you don't want to. And look what you said. That's Arabic. Oh, okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm so hungry. I'm burping up stomach fluid. I'm so. That's what's up, man.
I'm sorry, but
I don't know what I'm supposed to give this chick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
I'm sorry.
Liquid, you said the pushing has an opposite effect. People that were close to accepting inclusivity all of a sudden feel like rejecting it. When it's organic, it's more natural and easier to accept. That's facts, bro. That's how it is. It should never be shoved down your throat. And then the other, here's the opposite side of the coin with the push for diversity and inclusivity. Because of how forced it is, if you aren't okay with the narrative being pushed, then you've got to deal with the cancel culture. And that's the topic that I've covered a couple times on the podcast with, with Gothic's model as well as with Ashton Christ, is cancel culture and how people, they're so quick now. If you don't agree with them, they want to just end your whole career. They want to just bully you off. They become the very thing that they demonize. And so if they weren't so gung-ho about it, like, hey, this is what it is, then, if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, it's like, I look at it like when you're a dude trying to shoot your shot with a woman, it's like, either she will or she won't. Either way, you're fine. Either she'll give you a number, or she'll go on a date with you, or she'll do this, or she won't. But either way, you're good. That's how I look at, if you want to put a gay character or a strong female character. And that's the other thing too, I don't understand. We have had strong female characters in gaming and media as a whole. And it's like this whole current trend is very interesting in how they make it seem like there's never been female characters in games that are strong and all this other stuff before this era. It's also cool too, this whole, well, not cool, but it's interesting, this whole push now with how they make it seem like guys try to keep girls from gaming, or that we're the barricade for them. And it's so funny because in the entirety of my 30-something plus years, I've seen women themselves shame other women for gaming. Whereas the guys, for us, it's like, damn, you're a chick, you're hot, and you play games. Or even if she's not hot, if she's just into games, that's cool. Women shame other women about it. I give it an example. I work with 99% of women in my field. And on my break, like yesterday, I was playing King of Fighters 14 Steam Edition on my PC. On my laptop, my Surface Book. And I had so many other women, well, the bulk of the women there, they were just trying to be like, oh, you're playing video games? You're playing video games? And it's like, they put it in the sense of trying to shame you about it. And there's another chick that was there playing the video game and they were trying to shame her. And it's like, I see that as the norm. It's not dudes. I mean, maybe, and I'll give credit what credit's due. There are some dudes that do that, but it's majority women that do it. It's just funny. It's funny that the narrative being pushed is men trying to keep women out of gaming. And it's actually other women. And statistically speaking, for gaming, it's just not something that interests women as a whole, as a spectrum, as a whole. But it is what it is. He said, man, the council culture is very interesting to analyze. It is. It is very interesting to look at. Chris Levy, you said, I'm starting to put myself by doing a collaboration with others on my channel. Keep up the good work, Mekel Kasanova. Let me give you some advice on collaborations. Collaborations are good. They're very good to do. It is kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's good for cross-pollination. It allows you to broaden your audience. You know, you get to get exposed to a new audience, and then whoever you're going on or you're collaborating with, they get exposed to yours. But just make sure it's beneficial to both parties and not just to one or the other. We're doing a collaboration. And just make sure you don't get screwed over, because that's another thing that can frequently happen. Trust me, I've been through it. I have been royally fucked over by a lot of content creators with collaborations. Just like companies, just make sure it's in your benefit and don't get fucked over. This probably makes you sad. 2019 Nintendo is taking a backseat for me. For me, and I'm focusing more on shmups and fighting games. After Mario Maker 2, there's nothing I really care for in terms of first and second party. We all have preferences. Indeed. Like, honestly, there's really nothing coming out this year that I'm hyped for. I mean, even with the games Astral Chain and Deus Ex Machina, or whatever it's called. I keep forgetting the name of it. Damon X Machina. I keep calling it Deus Ex. I don't know why I keep calling it Deus Ex. Damon X Machina. Like, they're hype, but I'm not pushing for those. I know. If anything, the only thing I'm looking forward to is, like, for a JRPG is Dragon Quest 11 for the Switch. I have it on PlayStation 4, but like RPGs, I just want them portably. Because it's just more likely for me to play that at work or play it when I'm traveling than to be able to just sit down and devote time to it other than streaming. Like this game, I don't even play this game outside of streaming, just because this is something that I enjoy sharing with you guys. You know, being able to talk story, play it, enjoy, we experience it together. But if I played this on my own, I probably could have beaten it by now. It's just the motivation's just not there for me to do that for this, because it's something I'm enjoying streaming with you guys. And Chris, you say, I don't care who you are, man or woman. If you game, cool. If you don't, okay. But don't just say something about me gaming if you know nothing. I feel you on that. I fully agree with you on that. See, the stream is lagging. Are we dropping frames? Okay, we're not dropping any frames. Sprite, you say you're waiting for Dragon Quest 11S. Zero, you said, oh yeah, I forgot about Dragon Quest 11 for the Switch. Definitely willing to double dip on that. Dude, I'm so ready for it. That actually reminds me, I need to reach out to Square and see if I can get a review copy of it. You said the stream is working fine for you. Okay, so I guess it's just showing lagging on my end. Liquid Master, you said stand-up comedian Whitney Cummings said to Joe Rogan, nowadays people get canceled for tweets from 10 years ago. Yeah, do you guys heard about what's her name? Sarah Silverman? That blackface thing came out about her, and then she's been like one of the people pushing the progressive thing, and is eating her up now. Pick and choose your battles. That is, if there's any advice I want to give you guys, pick and choose your battles. There's some things that you probably just shouldn't touch on. There's a lot of things I want to say and I can't, because I know it's not going to benefit me in the long run. Might come back and bite me in the ass. Oh, okay. So, here's a question to you guys about stream outlets. What does everyone stream on? Or what are you considering as a platform to stream on?
Oh, have you been tasked with guarding the monastery as well? Such a stir over a single letter. But I suppose the Archbishop's safety is too important to risk.
You say you want to beat the older Dragon Quest games as well, like 4 and 5. I think I've got 7 and 8 on the 3DS. And we got 11. I do need to get some of the other ones. He said while Jimmy Fallon did blackface and still working. Dude, Jimmy Fallon. I'm not gonna even. See, I'm not gonna touch on it. I'm not gonna touch on it. You trying to get me in trouble? Just Levy, you said you use YouTube and Mixer, but maybe by year end I grow enough to try going only Mixer. So we're basically in the same boat. Like, as you guys know, I dropped Twitch. It's Twitch for me. And I think some of you in the chat may stream on Twitch, but I dropped Twitch because I got sick of the double standards that, as a man, we are held to. The standards we're held to that do not apply to female streamers. That they can get away with that we can't. And on a moral level, I can't deal with it. And also out of a sense of integrity, I can't deal with it. So I'm fully on board with actually just dropping Twitch as a whole. I don't even care if I can or cannot migrate over my audience from Twitch to Mixer. I'm enjoying Mixer way too much. Mixer is about games. It's about content. The games first. The audience is a lot better. It's definitely easier to grow. But there is that transition point where I'm trying to move my YouTube audience over to Mixer, and that's where I'm having the struggle. Because I have people that don't want to move over to Mixer, but as a whole, I think Mixer is a better platform for streaming. Now, I know Facebook has the Facebook Gaming. I've streamed to Facebook Gaming before, but I can't really say what the benefits of it is, to be completely honest. Or if it's really even a viable platform, because in my opinion, I feel like Facebook as a platform is dying. And I feel like it's dying a very rapid death at this point. It's ran its course. Liquid, you said, I'm seriously liking Mixer so far. I'm thinking about deleting my Twitch account. Chris, you said, to be honest, since I started streaming back in 2015, never just dug Twitch, to be honest. I kind of hopped on it just because I thought it would grow, but it didn't. I mean, my brand on Twitch did grow. I mean, I made affiliate quickly. I've done everything to hit partner, but I just don't want to be associated with that brand. Zero, you said Dragon Quest 1 through 3 on my phone, 4 through 6, 9 on DS, 7, 8 on 3DS, and 11 on PS4. They contribute to my backlog of games. I don't know when you gotta get around to that, bro. That's hundreds of hours, not thousands of hours of gameplay right there. Chris, you said I only go on Twitch to support others. Same. I never hear much about Facebook Gaming, and Facebook is always in the news for something bad, as I see. Yeah, I only know one person that's a Facebook partner. He's another Hawaii streamer called Gutter Magic. Other than that, I don't really know anything about it. Like, I don't know what the benefit is of utilizing it. So, I don't know. And I didn't jump to Mixer just because of Ninja. I don't even watch Ninja, but hell, they've got a big enough name like him that draws more people to Mixer. Now Mixer isn't going to seem second tier like it was before.
I bet the enemy is using this assassination nonsense just to sneak in and raid the pantry. What do you think, Professor? Oh, I'm right, all right. My animal instinct is telling me that the enemy is after our best meats. Oh, hey! I can't believe I dropped this. Thanks for bringing it to me. I bet.
All right, so I feel like I've done everything I can, so go ahead and finish exploring. Let's do the instructions. Group tasks. That's going to have weeding. So everyone who's using Mixer, what are your feelings on Mixer so far? Chris, you said I've been doing Mixer since earlier this year and had my account much longer. Ninja coming over is cool and all, but hey, it's more views on the platform and maybe you will see us. Yeah, it's an opportunity. And it's one that I feel like if you're on Mixer, take the opportunity and run with it. Zero, you said Dragon Quest 8 is my entry to the series, and the first one I beat, but most I have not beat. Really like Dragon Quest 5 as well. I made it up to the point where you choose your bride. I need to get Dragon Quest. I need to get the older Dragon Quests and get into them. Liquid, you said feels intuitive. Yeah, like I have no issues navigating through Mixer, to be honest.
I have deepened my understanding.
You said I would save my talk more about stream, but I don't stream at the moment, but I do know some people who use Mixer. Chris, you said Mixer is good, to be honest. It gives you the best streaming, both YouTube and Twitch do. Quality is clean, host other with a simple click, no having to type stuff in. Co-streaming is open to everyone. The other thing too with the only negative about Mixer I'm seeing is like if I want to build up a custom layout in my bio, there is that coding process there that's not very. Other than that,
I answered correctly.
it's
no need for praise.
It's super intuitive.
That was helpful, coach. This will be useful.
You said one stream I watched, they literally showed two streamers streaming at the same time, and it was interesting. I don't know you could have dual screens going like that. And two, you also get to utilize, you get to share the audience too, so it's not split. That's one of the things I really enjoy about Mixer. That's really excellent.
This will... Professor, could you explain?
You can co-stream up with up to 4 people. They can all see the chat together. It's cool. Yeah, it's something you don't really see a lot. Like no other platform offers anything like that. I'm kind of terrified to walk the monastery grounds at night. It's unnerving how dark and quiet the place gets. How can I conquer my fear? Sing a song if you make noise quiet. Think of it as training for night marches. This one's either of these two. I'm gonna process of elimination says it's not the top one. It's gonna be one of these two. Think of it as training for night marches. Carrying a torch. You walk into monastery grounds at night and you're unnerved by how dark and quiet the place gets. How can I? I'm gonna say think of it as training for night marches.
Ah, I see it now.
You say it helps if multiple people you're sub to stream at the same time. But as far as other things, they get rid of people you report because I had a troll in my streams. Bam, they got rid of him. Emailed me back about it. Yeah, they're quick about that.
Professor.
So I've always admired Pegasus Knights for the versatility they bring to battle, but I'm saying play is sure.
Hello, Professor. Do you have a moment?
Yeah, girl.
Well, I have this book of battle tactics that I borrowed from one of the knights. There's one part that I just don't understand. Do you think you could explain it to me? Great, thank you so much. It's about this diagram here. I don't get why the knights are grouping up in that forest there. I just can't see the advantage to a formation like that. Yay, I finally get it! You really are a great teacher. I knew asking you was the right idea. I just love learning new things. That's why I came to the Officers Academy. I want to learn magic, battle tactics, martial arts, and well, all kinds of stuff. I'm learning more now than I have in my whole entire life. Speaking of, I'd better go visit the library for some research before magic practice, which is just before sword training. That's just not possible. I always find it's more tiring to laze around doing nothing. I've never been any good at that. I have to have something to do. Like on my days off, I need to get up early and take care of the cleaning first, or I just can't relax. Know what I mean? Oh, I'm so glad you agree. You'd be surprised how rare it is to find people like us. Mercy never sets foot outside her room on her days off. I don't get that girl sometimes. Not to mention... Oh wait. Oh no! I was supposed to be on cooking duty today! Ugh, I completely forgot! Sorry, Professor, but I have to run. Thanks again for your help! Ah! Who put this stupid barrel here?
Now the next opportunity we get to save, I'm gonna save and we'll end the stream. I need to update my computer. I need to go get something to eat too. Let me catch up with the chat. You said, Chris, you said they are slowly doing things right for streamers that I feel are better than others. It's like people hate on this size, but you got to realize for 3 years they've done a lot. They've done astronomical amount of work within 3 years, and you know it's the thing that I feel people don't seem to understand is like, yeah, it hasn't been around as long as Twitch. Twitch has a full decade on it, but they're already doing things that Twitch has not even bothered to try to do. Twitch as a platform to me is not intuitive to get around. You said a while did not know that. Zero, you said not a while didn't know that with YouTube. Once person was streaming crashed and one guy kept spamming making new accounts every time they got banned with a new name, so it's annoying. Christy said Mix, I've never lagged but others yes, so I don't want to feel like I'm all about Mixer, but hey, it's good. Plus I have ultra low latency or what's so chatting with your viewers is almost like real time, I believe. Jerry said she's opposite of the pigtail girl with the pink hair. Chris, you said you love this game but stuck. Thanks for the chat. Yes. What battle are you stuck on?
Something? I see. If you have the time, then please assist me. I am to water the flowers in the greenhouse. Thank you. Only do not water the ones in that corner. They are from Dusker. They require a dry environment. The roots will rot otherwise. That is what makes them worthwhile. I owe you a debt of gratitude. In both the extracurricular activities here at the Academy and on the battlefield, your presence has been instrumental in the defense of His Highness. You have my sincerest thanks.
You do what anyone would do.
I see. Was there something else you wanted? Then please, excuse me.
Plus another thing is on mobile, they're so much better than Twitch because I can actually see stream, which always isn't good. Yeah, Twitch on mobile is shitty. See on part 1, chapter 6. I don't even know. I forget what chapter I'm in.
Singing is so much fun. Everyone should enjoy themselves while they're doing it.
Regardless of the quality, this is a good chance for us to prove our solidarity. I'm getting the hang of this.
I am honored that you invited me.
What's up, girl?
I'm ever so grateful.
them, Professor.
Right. Right. Huh? Right.
So I saw a pic once of Violet having team with her, and her brother was not happy while hiding in the bushes.
Lively places are my favorite. I like the monastery because there are always so many people bustling about.
I mean, honestly, I know her brother already don't like me, but I'm about to be over here like,
Yeah! Look at that form, man! Look at that! Look at it! Respect it.
That tea was very delicious. Please take care, Professor.
I'm a damn fool.
Let us finish this quickly.
Okay, I'll give it my all.
It went well.
It's all coming together.
Well, that worked out.
all right, so we're gonna save it here. We're gonna pick it up again on Friday. We're gonna start. So Friday I can start earlier in the day. Like, let me know if it's better for you guys for me to start earlier, because it's a holiday for me, so I'm off work. I can stream at any point. But yeah, definitely let me know. I don't mind starting earlier in the day as opposed to my normal hours, and I can stream as long as I want Friday because I'm off. I got a 3-day weekend. But yeah, I had fun with this stream. I'm glad you guys came through. I'm very grateful for the conversation. Liquid Master, thank you for coming through. Thank you for the skills you threw up in there. Same thing for you, Chris. Thank you for the follow, and thank you and Liquid for the hosting. Zero, as always, man, a fundamental pillar of the channel. Thank you for coming through. Don't worry if you can't make it. If you're busy this weekend, it is what it is, man. Don't worry about it. Might have multiple streams over the weekend, just because I'm actually finding myself enjoying streaming more than I am making content. I know you guys have been waiting for me to put out more reviews and traditional content. I'm kind of dragging my feet because streaming is so fun for me, but I get more into it. I'm definitely gonna have more content made over the weekend. I'm gonna stockpile a bunch of content for you guys and just start releasing it. Liquid Master, aka Antonio Barbosa, you're a fundamental pillar of the community here and of the channel and the brand, and a good friend. I greatly appreciate you coming through and supporting the channel. Thank you for all that you do, man. Wouldn't be the same without you here. So I greatly appreciate you being part of the Kasanova Club worldwide. Appreciate it, brother. Zero, thank you for coming through. Chris, Chips, Simply Chris, Super Chris, Sprite Mix, thank you guys for coming through. Glad y'all had a good one. And until next time, make sure y'all had a great one. And anyways, if you guys ever want to support the channel, you can. Dave, I knew you were lurking. I'm waiting. I had to bait you to come out of lurking. Dave, as always, man, I appreciate you coming through. Can't wait for you to get here to the States. I might have been able to procure a special edition of Fire Emblem. So I'll be in touch with you pretty soon about that. I'll know more over the weekend. And if I'm able to procure it, just shoot me an address and I'll get it over to you. Where is Bond? And definitely Kasanova Club Worldwide. If you guys want to support, you can. Different ways, different things, memberships on YouTube, whatever we have here on Mixer. We got Patreon. We got all that. All optional. None of you have to. Just being here, the conversation is supportive enough. But yeah, Dave, I've been on the lookout. But yeah, everyone, y'all have a good one. Much alohas to all of you. Mahalo for coming through. And I will see y'all on the next one.
Oh.